Become dangerously strong. In Stoic Men Tribe today, we're tapping into a powerful truth, a moment of inner strength, sharp clarity, and timeless wisdom. Don't skip any part of this video. Share your thoughts in the comment. Please do us a favor by hitting the subscribe button, like, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Let's break it down. Many people pursue the mere appearance of strength, the visible symbols that society honors. Bulging muscles, shiny medals, glowing statistics. They want the world to see them as untouchable, invincible, flawless on the surface. Yet beneath that polished exterior, they are fragile, easily rattled by the slightest whisper of doubt or criticism. Reactive to the world's judgments, their strength is a brittle facade, a fragile armor built on external validation. But then, there are those who walk a different path. They do not seek to impress or intimidate others. Instead, they train to endure the raw, unvarnished reality of life. They prepare themselves not just to face the world, but to stand firm amid its storms. They understand that life is not always fair, that pain and hardship are inevitable companions. And yet, they cultivate a strength that remains whole, unbroken, and steadfast, not dependent on circumstance, not fragile in the face of adversity. And then there is the rarest kind of strength, the kind that is not forged in aggression or control, but in presence and restraint. It is the strength of silence that cannot be provoked, the strength of a spirit that does not flinch when tested. This strength is calm, grounded, unwavering. It does not roar for attention. It simply exists, powerful and sure. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, said it best. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This dangerous strength is not about dominating others. It is about mastering yourself, your reactions, your fears, your desires. It is about being so deeply rooted in your own character that no external force can shake your foundation. To be dangerously strong is to move through life like a still mountain, unmoved by the winds, silent before the storms, eternal in your resolve. True strength is not forged in crowds or noise. It is carved quietly, in the deep chambers of solitude. In those moments when no one watches, when you stand alone with your thoughts. It is shaped patiently by setbacks, by the bitter taste of failure that teaches you humility and grit. It is tempered relentlessly by trials, those fires that burn away illusion and leave only the essence behind. This kind of strength is not for show or applause. It is not performance or pretense. It is substance. Marcus Aurelius once observed, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." This means your inner world, your thoughts, your judgments, your beliefs, ultimately defines the very fabric of who you are. So those who become truly strong guard their thoughts like a sacred sanctuary. They cultivate their perceptions with care and discipline. They refuse to be dragged into the chaos and clamor of the external world. Instead, they build a stillness inside themselves, a calm fortress of the mind. Because true power does not lie in domination or control over others. It resides in mastery of the self. It is not expressed through loudness or aggression. It does not need to raise its voice to be heard or understood. True strength listens more than it speaks. It responds with measured calm instead of impulsive reaction. When criticism or conflict come knocking, the strongest do not stumble. They stand so deeply rooted in their principles and values that even the fiercest storms lose their voice when they approach. Understand this. The strongest individuals are not those who battle endlessly with every challenge or enemy. They are those who have transcended the need to prove themselves to anyone. They have faced their own reflections, seen their own failures and flaws laid bare, and chosen not to flinch or turn away. They have been humiliated, broken, doubted. They have felt the weight of loneliness and despair. Yet they did not collapse. They did not give up. Instead, they took the fragments of their brokenness and forged from them a foundation, one stronger and more unshakable than before. This strength is quiet. It is humble. It is relentless. It grows not in the glare of applause, but in the shadows of persistence. It is the strength of the soul dyed by wisdom, endurance, and unwavering self-command. And in that strength lies freedom. Freedom from fear, from doubt, from the need for approval. That is the power that no storm can shatter, no hardship can diminish, and no enemy can touch. Real strength is not found in the flash of brute force, nor is it measured by the loudest voice in the room. It's not the hardest punch thrown in anger or the show of dominance over others. True strength is far subtler, far deeper. It is quiet, controlled, and precise. A calm power that does not need to boast or demand attention. It is not something worn like armor or displayed as a trophy. Rather, it is something you carry within, a steady weight of resilience and self-mastery. And make no mistake, not everyone is built to carry this kind of strength. Many people chase after strength as if it were a costume to wear, a role to perform. They seek approval, applause, and validation. They want others to see their power and admire it, to feel secure in the reflection of their own might. But this kind of strength is fragile, a hollow imitation. It crumbles the moment life applies real pressure, because it was never forged in the fire of true challenge. It is fabricated, superficial, and ultimately unsustainable. But then, there are those rare few who train for something infinitely more profound. They do not prepare themselves to intimidate others or to seek dominance over them. Instead, they train so that no one can intimidate them, so that no external force can disturb the calm of their inner fortress. They do not seek to appear strong, they seek to be strong, dangerously strong, not only in body but in mind, in character, in soul. As Marcus Aurelius wisely taught, the nearer a man comes to a calm mind, the closer he is to strength. This is not just poetic philosophy. It is a practical truth that echoes through every moment of endurance and discipline. True strength is not merely physical. In fact, physical strength is the most superficial layer, the outer shell. Beneath that shell lies the real essence of power. It is the strength that holds your tongue when your ego screams to strike back in anger. It is the strength that guides you to choose discipline when your desires scream for immediate gratification. It is the strength that allows you to walk away from what no longer serves you without feeling weak, and to stand still, unshaken in the eye of life's storms, without succumbing to fear. True strength is the mastery over self, the courage to face your own shadows, the wisdom to embrace your imperfections, the grace to move forward even when the path is uncertain and harsh. It is the silent flame that burns steadily, lighting your way not because it demands notice, but because it simply cannot be extinguished. This strength is built over time, in moments of solitude, in the choices to rise when you fall, in the refusal to be defined by circumstances or others' opinions. It is the foundation on which a life of purpose, resilience, and freedom is built. So when you see others chasing the noise of power, the flash and the show, remember this: the strongest among us carry a quiet strength. True strength is earned, not given. It is crafted slowly, deliberately, like a fortress built brick by brick, scar by scar. It is not forged in the bright glare of the spotlight or in front of cheering crowds. Instead, it grows in the silent shadows where no one watches, where no applause comes. It is nurtured in solitude, in the quiet, lonely spaces of early mornings and late nights, when your only companion is the whisper of your own will, pushing you forward, refusing to let you quit. To become dangerously strong means no longer begging for life to be easier or less demanding. It means choosing instead to grow stronger with every challenge, every setback, every pain. It is the moment you stop running away from what breaks you and begin to wield that very hurt as a weapon, as fuel, as a source of relentless power. Heartbreak, which once crushed your spirit, now becomes the fire that fuels your rise. Failure, once a bitter defeat, transforms into your greatest teacher, revealing lessons no success ever could. Silence, once filled with fear and doubt, becomes your most potent weapon, a shield and a sword forged in restraint and focus. And time, your most faithful and patient ally, becomes the canvas on which you paint the masterpiece of your resilience. This kind of strength is not accidental. It is the result of relentless practice, unyielding discipline, and the courage to face yourself honestly in the darkest moments. It is the power that comes from mastering your mind, taming your emotions, and standing firm in your values when everything inside screams for retreat. Becoming dangerously strong is more than a goal. It is a transformation of the soul. It is the sacred process of turning pain into power, silence into presence, and struggle into mastery. It is the path walked not by the faint-hearted, but by those who understand that true strength lies not in avoiding hardship, but in embracing it with unwavering grace. You don't seek revenge. You pursue transformation. You don't waste your breath explaining yourself. You become so undeniable that your presence speaks louder than any words. You don't falter when pressure mounts. You harness it, shaping it into the very fuel that propels your creation and growth. True strength is an inner force, born deep within the soul, untouched by the shifting tides of circumstance or opinion. When your power is rooted in the foundation of your own spirit, no external event, no criticism, no failure can sway you. You stand firm amid life's fiercest storms, unwavering in the face of failure, gracious in triumph. You no longer fear opposition or adversity, for you have already faced the fiercest battle there is, the battle within yourself. And in that struggle you emerged victorious. This is what it truly means to be dangerously strong, to be unshakable, unstoppable, unbreakable. Not because the world around you bends to your will, but because the world within you is an immovable fortress. The dangerously strong do not chase ego's hollow illusions. They're not driven by applause, likes, or fleeting validation. Their strength does not rise from shallow pride, but from the profound depths of purpose and meaning. While the crowd chases popularity, they seek alignment with their highest values. While others scramble to be seen and heard, they compete only with their former selves, always striving to become better, wiser, stronger than yesterday. Their power is not loud or boastful. It does not seek to crush or diminish others. It simply exists, a quiet, undeniable force forged in the crucible of silence, discipline, and self-mastery. They do not climb by tearing others down. Instead, they rise so high above the noise that mediocrity struggles to breathe in their presence, not out of cruelty or arrogance, but by natural contrast. For when you live with profound depth, the superficial simply cannot survive near you. As Marcus Aurelius wisely observed, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. In other words, the trials, the setbacks, the opposition, all become the very path to your strength, your growth, and your ultimate freedom. So, become the kind of strong that does not ask for permission, the kind of strong that does not require an audience, the kind of strong that stands quietly, firmly, and beautifully, a living testament to the power of inner mastery. If you truly desire to become strong, not just in fleeting moments, but in a way that defines your very existence, then there are sacrifices you must be willing to make. You must be willing to let go of the comfort found in being constantly understood by others. You must release the chains of seeking approval, that endless craving for validation that quiets your own voice. You must abandon the lure of ease, the seductive whisper that tells you to settle, to avoid discomfort, to stay small and safe. As Friedrich Nietzsche reminds us, he who has a why to become strong, you must embrace the discomfort of solitude and discipline. You must be willing to stand alone, face yourself fully, and craft a self that cannot be broken by the storms of life. Because only in this quiet, deliberate process does true strength take root. A strength that will carry you through any trial, that no external force can shake or diminish. Here is a hard, unyielding truth that few are willing to face. If you do not take control of your own mind, if you do not consciously train and shape it, the world will do it for you. And make no mistake, this world we live in, with all its noise, distractions, and relentless demands, does not care whether you become strong or not. This world thrives on your weakness. It profits from your distraction. It thrives on your scattered attention and unsettled thoughts. It lures you into a ceaseless cycle of consumption, scrolling endlessly through screens. reacting instinctively to stimuli and drowning out your inner voice with noise and haste. It encourages a life of reaction, not reflection, a life of consuming, not creating, a life where you are led by impulse, not intention. The world wants you small, tame, confused, dependent. It wants a version of you that can be easily managed, easily influenced, easily controlled. But then there are those rare souls, the dangerously strong. They do not fall victim to this endless cycle. They walk through the chaos with eyes wide open, fully aware of the forces at play. They see the distractions for what they truly are, tools designed to keep them from rising. And they choose a different way. They choose not the easy road. That road is littered with comforts and illusions that lull the mind to sleep. But the higher road, the path of conscious growth, intentional living and inner mastery, they willingly sacrifice the fleeting comforts of approval and ease for clarity and authenticity. They give up shallow pleasures for deep purpose. They forego external validation in favor of inner alignment. This is what makes them truly untouchable. Unshaken by the clamor of the crowd, unbroken by the pressures that crush the unprepared, unmoved by the shifting tides of opinion, unstoppable in their sense of purpose and direction. So if you genuinely desire to cultivate strength, not the kind that fades with applause, but the kind that endures through the storms, then build a life so disciplined, so intentional, and so fortified from within, that the world's chaos no longer finds even the smallest crack in your armor. Not because you have hardened into something cold and inflexible, but because you have mastered yourself, your mind, your habits, your emotions. This is why building yourself like a fortress is not a task for the impatient. It is not something achieved overnight or by accident. It is a deliberate daily practice, stone by stone, moment by moment, ritual by ritual. You construct an inner citadel that cannot be breached. You do not wait for life to become easier or gentler. You do not hope for fewer challenges or softer battles. No, you become unbreakable. You become the person who stands firm, no matter how fierce the storm, no matter how relentless the waves crash around you. You become the one who is steady in the face of uncertainty, calm amid chaos, and rooted in strength even when everything else shakes. You stop being caught off guard by trials and setbacks. Instead, you anticipate them. You prepare your mind, your spirit, and your body to endure and to thrive. You see hardship not as a punishment, but as a teacher, a necessary force that tempers your resolve and deepens your character. The great Bruce Lee once said, "Don't pray for an easy life, pray to be a strong person." This strength you build does not shout or demand attention. It does not need to prove itself or seek applause. It is quiet, steady, sovereign. A power that radiates from within without the need for external validation. And in that quiet sovereignty lies true freedom. For as the philosopher Epictetus taught us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. To be dangerously strong is to master your reactions, to live deliberately, to cultivate a mind so disciplined that no external chaos can shake its foundation. This is the strength that carries you through life's fiercest storms, not by brute force, but by unyielding resilience, profound clarity, and an unbreakable spirit. Be the kind of strength that does not wither in the face of betrayal, the kind of strength that doesn't dissolve when trust is broken, or when those you once held close become strangers with sharp tongues. You do not collapse, you compose yourself. You do not retaliate, you rise. Because your power is not built on the fragile foundation of other people's loyalty. It is rooted in something far deeper, in the way you've taught yourself to stand alone, in the way you've stitched yourself back together, which So build your fortress, not for show, not for trophies, but for yourself, for your peace, for your unyielding soul. And in that strength, find the freedom no one can ever take away. You do not owe anyone the burden of your weakness. You do not owe the world an explanation for your silence. Nor do you need to justify the quiet strength behind your rise. Too often we feel compelled to reveal every crack in our armor, to defend every moment of stillness, to prove why we keep climbing when others have stopped. But the truth is, your strength is yours alone. It is not a spectacle for approval or validation. You were never meant to live as a shadow of yourself, nor to drift passively through a world that demands resilience. You were not made to settle for softness that leaves you vulnerable, nor to linger in the shallow waters of comfort and complacency. You were born to forge yourself into something unbreakable, to walk through the fire of hardship and emerge holding the blade of truth, sharp and unyielding. This is not a fleeting state, nor a momentary triumph. It is a lifelong commitment to train your mind like a warrior hones their sword, to harden your habits like stone against the storm, to master your emotions so that no tempest can sway you. Because in all the world, there is nothing more formidable, nothing more profoundly dangerous than a human being who fully understands their own power, and who refuses to squander it on fear, doubt, or distraction. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca reminds us, difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body. So embrace the struggle, build your fortress within, and carry your power not as a weapon to harm, but as a shield to protect your purpose and your peace. This is the strength that cannot be broken. This is the strength that no one can take from you. And this is the strength that will carry you through darkness, through doubt, and beyond. If this resonates with you, share your thoughts. In the comments, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update.